What is up, everybody? Welcome back to JMB Unsupervised. We got an action-packed episode for you. Today is episode 45. We are closing in on 1 year. We're getting close. We started this in February. We're getting close. Almost the end of the year. Christmas is right around the corner.
It is.
So happy holidays to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We can say that. We can say that. We can say that.
We can say Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas.
But yeah,
happy holidays to everybody.
We're going to dive right into last Thursday's NFL game. We're going to start with last Thursday. There was a bit of some, not controversy, some stuff that went down in the third quarter. 49ers linebacker Campbell decided he didn't want to play football. No. I was like, I'm not going in. And if you guys don't remember, the linebacker that got hurt in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, he tore his ACL. He came back, and he took over Campbell's minutes. He was a starter. That's their guy.
Yeah.
And you know that. Like, you have a role. So, obviously, he came back, got hurt, and they were like, Campbell, we need you to go back in. And Campbell's like, you know what? I just don't want to play. Like, fuck you, which is basically what he gave. And he walked off the field. Dude went to the locker room and went home, I guess. I don't know where he went. He went somewhere, but he wasn't at the game. He did get suspended for the rest of the year, so he was not allowed to go sign with another team and try to contend for anything. But
that was the main reason why.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, cut him.
Yeah.
If they cut him, he would have hit waivers, and then another team could have picked him up, or he could have cleared waivers.
Overall,
and then went with a
what
contender.
do you, like, that is probably the worst thing you can do.
I just know if I'm the Niners, and I'm a player on the Niners, I don't want you. If I'm a player on another team, I don't want you.
No.
Like, football is a full contact sport.
Yes.
That's a team sport. And look, if you're not out here in the trenches fighting for me, you don't got my
But
back.
you understood that he was going to come back and he was going to get those minutes back. You knew that coming in.
Yeah.
Regardless of how well you're playing or not. That's the guy.
He apparently felt otherwise.
And to do that, I mean, it's just unfortunate that it happened to the 49ers. With all the stuff that they got going on. To add another thing on top of that was crazy. Very crazy. But, yeah, if I'm any franchise, I don't want him on my team because that's a cancer. And I'm sorry. His career, like, hope you're happy with it because to me, that's it on your career. I don't know if you're going to play again. And if you do, you're going to have to earn that locker room trust. They not going to give it to you. There ain't no, hey, buddy, how you doing? Like, it's like, you got to earn my buddy.
Like rookie status.
Like,
he's back to rookie, 7th round pick rookie status. He'll play somewhere again. He has talent to be in the NFL, but he's going to have to earn it. And he's going to turn a lot of teams away because it's a camaraderie. It's a chemistry that.
Well, he was just suspended for the rest of this season. Obviously, he'll probably be
by the team,
by the team. NFL. Yeah. So
and then after the season concludes, then he'll be like.
But let's jump into this Thursday night football game because something interesting happened that it threw me off. I didn't know about this rule.
I didn't know about this rule either.
It was definitely something
but apparently it's been a rule forever. For like ever.
Yeah.
This has never happened since
1976 was the last time that this went down.
Yep, it was 1976. So the Chargers in the Thursday night game against the Broncos, they got a free kick. And the free kick rule, if a player makes a fair catch, his team may attempt a kick from the spot rather than beginning its next possession. If the kick goes through the goalposts, or 3 points, obviously, because it's a field goal. But it's a free kick. There's no rush, and obviously you have the defense on the other side, but you just can't rush. It's like a kickoff.
I didn't
know it was a rule. But in the Chargers game, so in the first half, the Chargers fair caught a punt. So it's off of a punt. You got to wait for a fair catch. You catch it at that spot. You kick the field goal. But in the Chargers-Broncos game, he waited for a fair catch.
But he
got ran into, so it was a 15-yard penalty. So then they moved the spot of the ball.
Yeah.
But since it was a fair catch, you get that
with
option.
no time left.
No time left, so it was an untimed down as well. So it's the quarter was over. It was at halftime, but since there was a flag, they got to move the ball up 15 yards which would have made it a 57-yard field goal. But instead of having a rush, since you fair caught it, he could do the free kick rule and kick it 57 yards with a holder.
And he did
with no rush. And
he put it right through the uprights,
banged it through for 3 points, which was huge at that point.
Well, it was the turning point of the game, honestly.
Yeah, because the Broncos had all the momentum.
But it was just more the fact that I can't even believe the NFL knew that rule was there, bro. It's been so goddamn long. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. When I was watching the game, initially, I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, I think it even had some of the people, some of like the fans were puzzled too. They were just like, "Whoa,
yeah." Like knew, like what was going on was kind of impressive.
But yeah, that happened in the.
I guess that's Jim Harbaugh's like one of his favorite rules in the NFL, and he's been trying for a while now when he's been a coach in the NFL to.
I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know it was a thing to keep it a buck. So that's.
I just know if this team's got to start exploiting this unknown rule that's been a rule. Like, they back Ole up, and they shank a kick, and you fair catch it, and you're on like the 50, 40, the team 45-yard line, and there's obviously has to be some time.
I guess now that it's a learning curve for some of the teams that maybe forgot about that rule. If you're going to punt the ball and you're going to fair catch it, you better not make a penalty because you can move that 15 yards. That's 3 points. Or
instead of fair catching it and then instead of trying to return it, fair catch it and then send out your Butker, your Tucker, the Dallas Cowboys kicker that can kick 65, 70 yards. No rush. I mean, granted, I do believe they can return it.
Yeah.
So there is that aspect of it, but again, you're going to have your kick team out there that can stop that. So, honestly, that's a little niche in the armor there, which now everybody knows about.
No, I'm glad it happened because it was something I didn't know about. So I'm glad we were able to bring it here to the people that maybe didn't know about it. Because again, when you sent me, I'm like, bro, when I was watching, I'm like, what is happening? I'm so confused. But it was again, 1976 was the last time it happened. So now teams are going to have to be on the lookout for that. Something you're going to have to put in your game plan, have a little, just in case. But
a little gadget.
Speaking of rules and stuff that's happening, NFL executives say it's time to outlaw the low block. Every block should be above the knees but be below the neck. What is your thoughts on trying to outlaw or get rid of the low block? Do you like that or not like that? It's something that the NFL is really pushing for right now. They want it gone. That low block. So everything above the knee, but below the neck. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like in some instances that it still should be an available tool to use because, say, if I'm a left tackle and we're trying to get a screen out wide, if I just dive at your feet, you're going to go down with your hands because I need your hands to go down. But if I'm trying to engage you in a block, you can still get your hands up.
Do you think the NFL is trying to change too much?
I think
because here's why I say this before you answer. We're all about this player safety bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But yet, again, nitpick it again. Our Kansas City Chiefs play 3 games in 10 days. Do you think that's caring about player safety?
Yeah.
Like, DeAndre Hopkins made that. He goes, DeAndre Hopkins is upset. People are up in their arms about why DeAndre Hopkins is upset. Like, you're playing 3 games
in
10 days. Our Kansas City Chiefs play tomorrow, Saturday.
Yep.
Turn around and play on Christmas Day. Yep. And then turn right back around and play Sunday. Where is the time to recover? Like, there's no time to recover.
And we travel. We're home this Saturday.
Yep.
And then we travel to Pittsburgh. And then we travel
to Mile
High.
Back to the low block. We're trying to be this player safety. I'm confused. Like, are we trying to make the game safer, or are we just trying to eliminate certain injuries? Because we've had some knee injuries, but again, that had nothing to do with the low block.
I think the low block should be more of behind.
To me, I feel like you're just making the referee's job even harder.
Yeah.
Like, you're just making it even harder.
You're going to have people out there that watching stuff in replay.
Because we've already talked about there's holding on every goddamn play. Yeah. But it's how egregious is the holding call.
Let's put it this way. I'm not a fan of it. Okay. You could tweak some of the blocking a little bit. That's diving, that's low, I guess. But and overall, you're taking a lot away from the game. In my opinion,
I think we're taking way too much away from the game. But
if you try to stop me from trap block, obviously you're not allowed to do trap block, and I think that's probably about as much as you can really do. There's no blind side. You can't hit a guy from the back to block either. And
I don't like that either because it's the whole point. I'm supposed to block you, make sure you can't get into play.
And so I think that one's doing too much, and it's not a big you don't see people getting hurt by being blocked like that either because it's a very rare few.
Really, the injuries that we've seen this year have been just flukes of you're trying to come around and your body's swinging and you just connected with somebody else and there it went. So it's been some freak injuries again. The game I'm just not a fan of the NFL is always coming out with these new rule changes. Player safety. Well,
the hit drop.
I don't think we're out here really trying to be player safety. I really don't.
Well, I think they're trying to come out and be that way, but the hit drop tackle was a very good thing to come out and say, hey, look, we got to stop this. And there's been very few hit drop tackles this year because it was a very
in the beginning, in like the first 3 weeks, I would say it was an adjustment. Then everybody kind of got and we were good to go. Like
you learn, you have to tackle. You just have to learn. You just have to know how to tackle better.
Yes.
I always talk about it. It'll be fun, but the block, I just no. You're trying to do too much then.
Well, yeah. The rule changes in the NFL. I just don't know where we're going because it's like again, we're playing the cat and mouse. We want the game to be. You want to play football. But then you don't want to play football at the same time. So I'm just trying to understand where we're going. But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens with the low block. Again, it's probably got to be at the end of the season. It'll be with the players' bargain agreement, whatever we got going on. But in other news, I want to talk about this. The NFL fine person that hands out fines, we need to have a motherfucking conversation. Isaiah Pacheco was fined for trying to break a tackle. So what am I supposed to do? Stand up straight and get blasted?
He led with his head. Not allowed to
Anthony Richardson. Like we talked about before, got fined for trying to break a tackle. And then this came out. The NFL fined Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts basically $5,500 for violating the league's uniform and equipment rules in Sunday's win over Pittsburgh by wearing a shoe color that's not one of the Eagles. But get this, it was still a green.
The wrong shade of green.
Why does it matter what I'm wearing on the goddamn field, especially when it comes to my cleats? My cleats. Your uniform, yes.
Well,
I get that. But your goddamn shoes, what does that got to do with anything? We went through this in the National Football League. Now players are allowed to wear whatever color, to a degree, colorway they want. But, this is the NFL person hands out these fines. He needs to be fined. Can we hand this dude a fine? Because I'm sick of this.
Well, when it comes to
I'm sick of this.
Pacheco and AR fines, I don't like them. It's the offensive player trying to go through a guy. So that's what's up. But finding somebody because they wore their cleats or their gloves or socks, are a little bit different color. I don't really like that. That kind of takes away from the personality of the player. I preferably would like the players to be allowed to wear more flashy cleats, kind of like in the NBA.
Yes,
they wear a lot of different color shoes.
Because you
let designs, and that's a lot. The shoes they come out with on cleats, and the NFL that they show off during warm-ups is really cool. But then they got to switch to the mandatory you only allowed to wear no fun league cleats, and that's just no fun. I guarantee you, Patrick Mahomes wishes he could have a cleat design to help keep his ankles more sturdy. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
but that's my opinion.
I just think the players should be allowed to wear what they want to wear when it comes to cleat-wise and stuff like that. Because, again, that's the whole point. You're trying to show off what you're doing, but I guess that's not how the NFL looks at it. But
no, it's not.
I want to touch on college football real quick. Small portion here. So we got Deion Sanders, primetime. He's at Colorado. Yes. We love that.
Yes.
Bill Belichick's at UNC now. Very curious to see how that works out. Yep. We got Eddie George. If you don't know who Eddie George is, he's a former star running back, played for the Tennessee Titans back in the day. He's at the NFL, he's a college football coach. I don't know the university off the top of my name. But then we have Michael Vick.
Yep.
He is now the Norfolk State head coach, and I'm here for it. I'm loving that. I'm loving that these former players are out here coaching. Michael Vick, I'm here for it. Michael Vick, if you guys don't know, human highlight reel. Played for Atlanta, obviously had his troubles with the law, dog fighting. He paid his debt to society. He served jail time, came back, rectified his career with the Eagles, and now he's able to go and coach young men in football. I'm here for it. It's at Norfolk University, so it's not the biggest college name, but Eddie George. Eddie George. Now, Eddie George. Man's over here typing in the wrong stuff. Eddie George. I don't remember what college he's at. Yeah, he played for the time. I can't remember what. I know he's coaching college. Is it right there? I know it's a small university, but again,
in Montana.
So we just got a lot of these former players that I'm loving. Like you guys said, we got Deion at Colorado. We now got Michael Vick at Norfolk, and then Bill Belichick. College football is going to be fun next year,
Tennessee State University.
Tennessee State University. So you got Eddie George is at Tennessee State University, Prime at Colorado, Bill Belichick at UNC, and now we got Michael Vick at Norfolk. I am absolutely fucking loving this.
Yeah.
Like Michael Vick is going to be. I think Michael Vick will be able to relate to these players very well. Kind of like a Dion type. He's able. In an instance of like
prime time's one of one. But
no, but like Michael Vick's been through the highs, the lows. He can, in the sense of like,
you can relate to players all you want, but it will come down to, as we've seen from
no, like if you put all those coaches in a room and they all sat in your room, you're going prom. Like I'm sorry.
Well, what I'm saying is like he might be able to relate. He might be able to scout decently at his small college that he's at, but it's going to come down to coaching, which was the big question. Sure, Dion, you're getting the best of the best out of the JUCO for Jackson State, but when you get to the big boys in the Big 12, are you going to be able to recruit? And obviously
But it comes down to hiring the right coaches.
But can you coach?
Yes.
Can you bring in the coaches and can you coach these players and put in a scheme? And it's been clear that he, after 2 years in Colorado, he's been able to.
Yeah, so like I said, Michael Vick at Norfolk, I love it. I cannot wait to see how well he does. I know it's going to be a struggle. I'm not out here thinking Michael Vick's going to go, crazy, because that's not how that works. But
he might.
I'm happy for Michael Vick. This is great. I love the former players getting into coaching. So,
but what's your thoughts though? I'm talking about coaching. Eric Bieniemy wasn't fired, but like also he was a stopgap, I guess, kind of for his buddy.
Yeah,
but
for NCLA or UCLA?
Yes.
Yep.
And it was stopgap. He stopped there. He helped there, and now he's back a free agent. He's looking for a head coaching job. What's your thoughts on all these like non-coaches, people with little to no coaching is getting jobs that haven't ever coached in college ranks are getting jobs, even though they're NFL coaches.
When it comes to Eric Bieniemy, I just think he was robbed. I think there was just so much made of him, and I think he's a great offensive coordinator. I do. I think he's got. I hope he gets an opportunity to be a head coach somewhere. I do.
Well, he's been offered opportunities in the college rank, and he's turned it down.
And that's where I have to take a step back, take my biasness out of everything for Eric. Like, why are you not taking that opportunity? Like, why? It's an opportunity. It may not be the best opportunity, but if someone comes with your opportunity.
Okay, but if you're, OC in the NFL under Andy Reid, you have been calling plays. Yes. You cannot say you called plays. No, obviously you're a little bit shared there. Take what you will. You have your own opinion on that. You have your own opinion. But you're coaching Patrick motherfucking Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Every running back he's ever coached has just spewed love for him.
Yeah. And his players have always spewed love for him.
Well, until he went to the Commanders.
But then you talk about...
But they went to the Commanders and stood on his own as an OC there.
And Ron Rivera threw him under the bus. He did. He did not have his back. Eric Bieniemy was trying to coach these guys to be champions, and they were crying about it. There's a reason why the Commanders at that point in time were a laughingstock in the National Football League. Because
it's the reason why they had the second overall pick.
Yes. So, like, the fact that, again, he is an old school type of coach. That's why Kansas City was so excited. He held everybody accountable. Yeah. And, again, the whole interviewing stuff, he's not a good interview. Some people just ain't good interviewers. Some people just ain't.
So how
why are you going to judge me based off a goddamn interview? So don't base me off an interview. Base me off what I've done.
You're missing the point. He has all these accolades.
Yes.
All these accolades with the Chiefs.
Yes.
And also as a former player, and also from when he was coming up in the ranks, even from like LT.
Yes.
And you're taking all these other coaches that have less accolades than him, even though they might, spill good, talk good.
Yes.
You still choose him over somebody that has a list of accolades.
Yeah, no, I just think he's been. I wouldn't say he's been blackmailed, but he's been raw dog. Like, let's keep it 100. He's been raw dog. I don't know what it is.
So I don't blame him for taking something that he feels is beneath him, but then it confuses me that he goes and kind of like is a coach, OC kind of sort of in the college ranks, but yet passed on.
I hope he gets an opportunity. I think there's going to be some jobs.
You should bring him in for the stretch.
I would have loved to. I mean, why not? Put him, Matt Nagy, and Andy Reid together. Like that's the campfire, dog. Like you're gonna be warm. You're gonna stay nice and warm.
Definitely going to light a fire and these guys.
Yes. And I think having Eric back in the building with the Chiefs would be perfect right now. Just a little bit more fire, a little bit more. Well, he's got that. So I hope, again, at the end of the day, I hope Eric gets an opportunity because, again, he deserves it. And if you think he don't deserve it, you are the problem. Am I right?
I think you're right.
Okay,
I think he deserves a shot at at a college, at a big school, like at the Big 12, SEC, ACC, even the Mountain West.
Yes.
Something. He does deserve an opportunity at that rank or in the NFL.
Yes. All right. So moving off of that, we have some interesting stuff that has come about in the National Football League. The Cleveland Browns have decided to bench Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
For the guy that they drafted, Thomas Robinson. They want to see what they got in him. That's great. That's cool. I'm having a hard time accepting it for the simple fact of you inserted Jameis Winston, and yes, he's been 2-5 since he's been with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
As the starter. Again, I don't know what you expected him to really do. I don't know what you expected, but in the 7 games he's played, he's put up 2,121 yards, 13 touchdowns, yes, 12 interceptions. But dude, he damn near set the record a couple weeks ago in passing yards, over 500 plus passing yards. He's turned Jerry Jeudy into a number 1 option. A guy that...
Okay, look, just because he's on your fantasy team...
Hey, Jerry Jeudy putting up points for me, dog. Appreciate you, Jerry. I do. I got love for you, dog.
We all know what Jameis Winston is.
Yes.
He's gonna let it fly.
He's gonna let it fly. He's the definition of I'm gonna let it fly, dog.
And that's what he's a gunslinger. He's
a gunslinger. 100% gunslinger.
In the worst ways possible. He makes the most crucial turnovers possible. And
but that's been him since he was at Florida State.
Go. So you know why they're making the move. Then.
I get it. It's just
you got there.
I
know you're mad because
I'm mad because Jerry Jeudy ain't gonna give me 14 points.
Oh, I know.
I need the 14 points this week, dog. I need them.
No, you don't.
I do.
So put in the guy that you don't know what you really have. So the stretch of the next 3 games is going to be kind of a tryout for the guy to see what the Browns obviously are going to do. They're obviously considering their route. They're at quarterback, even though they have Deshaun Watson, who is obviously out for the year with an Achilles.
They're supposed it's going to be back next year.
Well, you can't do
no
nothing.
one. No,
you can't do nothing about. I mean, you can, but it would take a bigger cap hit than the Broncos did getting rid of Russell Wilson. So they're weighing their options, seeing what they have there. That's the right move, even if it upsets you.
Need my 14 points.
No,
this week, dog. I really need them.
Zero.
Another quarterback that was benched. Not the biggest deal in the world, but kind of a big deal. Mayonnaise. Mayo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, not mayonnaise.
The Tennessee Titans have decided to bench Will Levis. Will Levis in his career, 5-15, 61 completion percentage, only 3,724 yards, 20 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. That's for his career. This season, he's 2-9, completing 63% of his passes, 1,916 yards, 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's been the face of some memes this year with his.
When he comes out with the commercial for Mayo,
it's is the Will Levis. I have to, his head coach is the Will Levis era over in Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's over. It's done.
You call that an era? I'm not calling it even an era. Like no, it's over. It's done. But you know what Mason Rudolph is? Mason Rudolph gets hit with his own helmet. Okay. No, that's not an era. That's a stopgap. The Titans will be looking for their next guy in the draft.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Will Levis just
did not pan out.
For whatever they thought he could be, or they saw in him.
I never saw what people thought they saw in Will Levis.
I know what Will Levis can be. He be Tyson Hill.
Maybe.
He big boy. I mean, he big. Like, he be Tyson Hill. For sure.
He could. It's definitely a possibility. I guess for me, it's like, where do they go from here? Like, I don't.
They got the draft. Like, I mean, they're done. They're 3 weeks left of the season. Then they're going to have to go and find their next guy.
In the draft. Think about what the Tennessee were just a couple years ago. They had A.J. Brown. They had.
And they got rid
Ryan Tannehill. They had Derrick Henry. They were damn near almost
one game away from the Super Bowl.
And then this is where we're at with Tennessee.
Hey.
They fire
Mike Vrabel,
which I
don't understand that.
No, it's bad. But then I guess the big news here, another quarterback was benched that got paid. Kirk O'Chain. Kirk O'Chain that did not come to ATL. Kirk O'Chain stayed in Minnesota. He did not come to ATL. Kirk Cousins this season, 7-7, 3,500 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Again, real quick before I turn this over to you, if I'm Atlanta, I want some of my money back. You probably should have went out and actually gave Lamar Jackson a motherfucking contract. You probably regret that now. But at the end of the day, I do feel bad for Kirk Cousins in the instance of you when you watch him play. One, I think he rushed back. I don't know if he was fully ready to come back from the Achilles injury. He don't look the same. The confidence is shaken. When he goes to throw, it's like he doesn't want to throw it. He pulls it back. But now that's the reason why I feel bad, because this isn't the Kirk Cousins we're normally used to watching at all. It's been bad. But they're going with their first-round draft pick, Michael Penix Jr., that everybody criticized when they drafted him in the first round. You remember, everybody was, me included, like, I thought they were going all in and they took a quarterback. But what's your thoughts on this whole benching? Like, I know you don't feel bad for Kirk O'Chains. I know you don't feel bad for Kirk O'Chains.
No, I don't feel bad for
him. I know you don't feel bad for Kirk O'Chains.
I want his agent.
Everybody wanted his goddamn agent.
I wanted an agent. He finessed the Commanders, or the Redskins at the time, the Commanders, the Vikings, and then the Falcons. Look, I just...
So the Falcons' option for Kirk Cousins, if they decide to release him, it'll be sexy money.
Sexy money. Sexy money.
It will be $65 million in dead money, but if they decide to trade him, it's only $38 million in dead money. So those are the options.
Yeah, no one's taking.
I don't know who's taking any of those options, but
it sounds like I would say he wouldn't get cut, but we saw the Broncos cut Russell Wilson and have a 50-some, and then like a 40-some next.
But you have, if you are an ATL fan, you have to be super disappointed because. We've talked about this. You say coaching is also a big problem in this as well.
That's okay. To me, you have Kyle Pitts. No, we have that's Philly. We're in
AI, baby.
We're in ATL right now. We're in Atlanta, right? So to me, it's been coaching. Kirk Cousins. No, he looks like he's lost a little bit of a step. Yes. He is an older quarterback that's coming off an Achilles. We see Aaron Rodgers coming off Achilles, and wow. And I feel like you said there seemed like
I do like that Pro Football Hall of Fame actually has Kirk O'Chains in there.
Shout out to Pro Football, dude. Like that's funny, but I feel like he's not a mobile quarterback.
No,
I feel like the system that they're running does not fit the players, the skilled position players, or the quarterback well. They started him. He's he plays under center a lot, or he plays in shotgun. In the first handful of weeks, he was in the pistol.
Yeah, it was not a good.
He couldn't do. They did it a lot because of like training camp and this, because he really couldn't drop back yet. So maybe he got back maybe 3 weeks early, maybe 4 weeks early.
Yeah.
But again, like if you're Kirk Cousins, I don't know why you're rushing back. You've got guaranteed dollars.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be reinserted. You don't got to hold off the rookie. Your contract's doing that. But that said, I don't feel bad that he got benched. To me, it's odd because hold up. They are. Cause I think they might be first in their division.
They are, I think. Let's check this out.
Football League.
They are. I know they're. Where are they at? No, they're second.
They're second. So they're a game out of first place in their own division. So I don't really get that move if you're trying to contend. Maybe they feel like Michael Penix gives them that shot to contend. I don't get it. So in that instance, I don't like it. I feel like you're giving up on the season by putting the rookie in there. It's not like you're trying to get a spark out of your rookie. Like you're not really going to get that. I mean, you might, but I doubt it.
It's a very risky move putting him in there now, especially with you're trying to possibly get a whole playoff game.
Well, like I feel like with Kirk Cousins, you have the chance to win your division, and with him on the bench, you don't. Where they move forward, he's coming back, and he's going to battle Penix for the starting job.
Well, it's all going to come down to how does Penix look. Like this is just a move to see what you got.
But he's also very injury prone too, which is a big knock on him coming out of college.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens.
I'm curious to see him. I don't like it. If I'm a Falcons fan, which
you gotta be nervous as fuck.
I'm pissed that I benched Kirk Cousins because I'm 7-7. I'm a game back out of the first place in the NFC South against the Bucks.
Yeah,
who at all shakes of anything isn't a great team by no means, but. Like I'm a game back.
I think they've beaten the Bucks. I think they're up on the Bucks too. So if they can, get the better record, there will be. I think they would win the division because they hold the tiebreaker. I'm pretty sure.
Let me get their schedule pulled up real quick.
Let me see. He's pulling up a schedule. But no, it's just like you have you're making a big your game out. You're making a big risk going for that. I'm pretty sure they beat the Bucks twice.
Well, they haven't played the Bucks twice.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the Bucks up there. There they go. So they beat them 31-26.
And then they beat
them 36-30. So yeah, they're 2-0 against them.
So they have the advantage.
They have the advantage. They just got to win.
So they finish with the same record.
So their final games are the Giants, Commanders, and Panthers. So that should be 2 in 1 theoretically.
Well, if you had Kirk Cousins against the Giants, favorites. Against the Commanders with Kirk Cousins, it's a coin flip.
And then the Panthers, yeah, you should win.
So realistically, you're 2-1. You're gonna finish.
Damn, 3 games out. Yeah, you're right. This is very risky.
So to me, again, it comes back to coaching and organization messing players up. You gave this man all this money. You don't make that move. You let it ride out, and who knows what happens in playoffs? Maybe you win the division. You lose in the wild card round. Hey, look, you're a team that didn't make the division last year. Didn't make the playoffs. That's a step in the right direction. Developing those guys. To me, I still think it's coaching. And Kirk Cousins being an established veteran quarterback who is by far none, probably a top 15-ish quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
No less than top 18. You're benching him for an unknown thing and you're only a game out.
Don't like it.
I don't like it.
But moving on. So I want to moving on from ATL. We're moving our bitch asses all the way to New York. We're going to New York. We're going to the Jets.
The Jets?
Yeah, so before we get into the main topic I want to talk about, there's a couple things we need to have a conversation about. So, Woody Johnson, the owner of the New York Jets. Can't make this shit up, guys, let me tell you.
Well, before you get to that, which is really funny, the Buccaneers, I was curious, the Buccaneers last 3 games, Cowboys. That's going to be a dogfight with that Cowboys defense with Micah. Then the Panthers, dub. Finished with the Saints.
Should be a dub. All the injuries.
It should
Kamara out. Derek Carr out.
It should be. So, really, they have one loss. They're going to go 2-1. Which
you need the Bucs to drop 2 games. You need the Bucs to drop 2 games.
If the Falcons go 2-1, yeah, you need them to drop.
So, honestly, the Bucs have the better schedule. No, they have the better schedule now because you're going with the rookie quarterback.
No, the Bucs have the easier path to get there because the Falcons are putting the rookie, but to me the Falcons have the easier path.
What?
If they had Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm saying. Without Kirk, with the rookie, it's the Bucs.
It's just crazy because the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield could mess around and lose to the Saints.
They could.
But obviously, I think Baker Mayfield and the Bucs will now easily clinch the division no matter how they finish the season with the rookie quarterback. Because obviously, I think coaching. Quick side note: Bucs, Mike Evans needs about 200.
He get him.
286 yards.
Baker's made it clear. He knows. He getting no 1,000 yards, baby. He's getting it. So if you're the other teams, I'm telling you right now, you're triple teaming
Mike Evans.
We gonna let him fly to Mike Evans, dog.
He gets 1,000 yards. So you guys don't know if he gets 1,000 yards, he's never not had 1,000 yards.
Be 11th consecutive.
11 straight.
That'll be the record. That'll be a record.
He would tie
the record with Jerry.
And it's the longest active streak in the NFL. He's at 10. He gets it this year. Be at 11. At 32 years old with Baker. Shout out to
most
Baker.
Underrated wide receiver ever in the National Football League, right? Right? He has to be.
I think he gets you know how Andre Johnson for the Texans didn't get no respect? Everyone knew he was a dog.
That's Mike Evans.
The media didn't give him respect.
That's Mike Evans. But now that we're off that, we're moving on to the New York Jets.
New York Jets. Jets.
This might be the most funniest fucked up shit you've ever heard in your life. Woody Johnson vetoed a trade for Jerry Jeudy. And his sons had a part in this too. His teenage sons, Woody Johnson's sons, because Jerry Jeudy's Madden rating is too low. You vetoed a trade because of dude's Madden rating? That might be the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. Woody, what the fuck? Mind you, Jerry Jeudy is one of 5 receivers this season that has over 1,000 yards receiving. Shout out to Jameis Winston for that, too.
Hey, Jerry Jeudy has an 84 Madden rating.
So,
I guess that's not high enough for you to trade for.
You vetoed a trade because of Madden?
Yeah.
You said you're using Madden for trade value, but not
when he said that, I use Madden for the trade, the trade mechanics they have in Madden because they actually I wouldn't come out and say it and I wouldn't put it on the news, but I would definitely use the trade mechanic in Madden if I was GM, especially if I was an owner. I'd be like, let me hop on Madden real quick. So see how I feel about this trade. So I would use that part. I wouldn't veto a trade because. Well, this dude has an 81.
I just know Woody Johnson's sons are not as smart as the New York Giants GM owner because his son said, Dad, you got to keep Saquon Barkley. And Dad's like, nah, we're not going to keep Saquon. We're going to let him walk.
They also said we need a draft, and they got that right, too. So, the Giants GM definitely needs to listen to his boys and his kids.
And Woody Johnson needs to stop listening to his boys. Now, another thing that's going on with the Jets, that is another story. Again, I don't know what Woody Johnson's got going on, but it's time to sell the Jets and move on, dog. But this is reported that the Jets owner Woody Johnson, his wife, and his 2 sons actually criticized players in the locker room, and they've done it over the years. So his wife and his kids are going in the locker room just telling players you trash. I have a problem with that because, one, if Woody Johnson wants to go in the locker room and talk to you about how you're playing, I'm cool with it because you signed the motherfucking check. You should feel some type of way. But why is your sons and your wife in there talking to the players? I'm sorry, I don't think you have that same authority, that same right, that same privilege. That is a problem for me. Now, like, it's whoever's leaking this stuff clearly is like just wants the whole Jet shit out in the motherfucking open. But that right there to me, again, players got to be able to take criticism. Again, if the owner's yelling at you, I have no problem with it because he signed your check. That's your boss. Like, could you imagine you at work and then like the CEO of Goodyear kid comes and tells you trash at your job? Bitch, you ain't even done the job, dog. Like, don't talk to me that you've done the job. Truck my line. Truck my line, dog.
I'm like, how you know that? How you know that?
So what's your thoughts on that? Like, do you have a problem with the wife and the kids in there?
No.
You don't have a problem with that?
No, dog. You making millions. I'm making millions of dollars to play football. You say I suck? Hey, like, then trade me then, dog. Trade me if you think I suck. I'm like, is it messed up? Is it fucked up? Yeah, it's all fucked up, messed up.
A teenage boy in there telling him, dog, you trash. Could you imagine his son going up to Devontae Adams? Boy, hey, dog, you trash. I'll smack the shit out you, dog. You got me 1v1, dog. I promise you I'm cooking you, dog.
I'm like, league up then. Like, no, I don't have a problem. Like, I didn't know you were so sensitive like that. I know you have a problem like that when people tell you suck at work. I know you have an issue with it. Well, I know you sensitive like that.
Yeah, if the boss's kids don't tell me I suck, let my boss tell me I suck, not your damn kid, boy. I'm on the truck, dog.
You a snowflake. I know that.
But
it's funny.
In other news in the Jets, there's the Jets too. Another thing with the Jets, Garrett Wilson is possibly going to ask for a trade at the end of the season, in the offseason. Garrett Wilson is camp. Sorry.
Whoa.
My apologies. My alarm for to go pick up my kids from school. My apologies. Garrett Wilson, his team said that Garrett Wilson could be asking for a trade. And if you go on the internet, apparently the Kansas City Chiefs have the best odds to get Garrett Wilson. We got the best odds to get anybody in the National Football League, dog. I guess fuck them pigs, fuck that money. I don't know. But it's serious talk, though. If you're the New York Jets, you can't lose Garrett Wilson. Get your quarterback situation right. Woody Johnson, get your wife and kids out of the motherfucking locker room. I don't know what we doing in New York, especially with the Jets, but it's got to stop, dog. Get Aaron Rodgers out of there. His voodoo retreat trips ain't working, dog.
Aaron Rodgers has came out and said that he does believe that he wants to play another year.
Yep.
He does for the Jets. Not for the Jets.
I'm just saying, in overall talk, though.
Where is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams going?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not
because it's a package deal. If you're Devontae Adams, are you bringing Rodgers with you?
Who in the league gonna want Aaron Rodgers, dog? This has not been a great summer. This has not been a great season for you.
Hey, you know it's the Jets. It was a Jet problem.
So let's
the Vikings
talk about. So Aaron Rodgers this season, 62 completion percentage, 3,200 yards basically, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's getting about 7 yards a pass.
Sounds solid.
It's not the worst thing, but it's like the Jets have all this talent on the side of the ball. Like, what the fuck happened?
Sometimes it's just not a player problem; it's a scheme problem.
So. But
I don't know.
Again, if you're the Jets, you can't lose Garrett Wilson. That dude is talented, and it's just unfortunate that we were looking forward to seeing him blossom with Aaron Rodgers, and we just didn't get it.
He's going to this offseason will be his 4th year. Do you pay him?
If you're the Jets, you have to. You can't let him go. Can't let him go. But
well, I mean, he's going to have this 5th year option. He's going next year. This is his 3rd year. Next year will be his 4th year. And then obviously this offseason they'll pick up his 5th year option.
Yeah.
So like, do you extend him then, Pat? Obviously you have to extend him, but do you extend him to keep him happy, or like you're kind of?
I just know if you're the Jets, you can't let him go. You just can't let that guy walk in. He's super talented. I'm sorry, you can't. But
I don't think he's going nowhere. They'll get a deal done. I mean, he's a cornerstone offensive player. They'll get that shit figured out with the new regime that they bring in.
Real quick, last thing on the NFL side, has Josh Allen wrapped up the MVP, yes or no?
No.
And since it is no, what's the MVP race? What's the top three? What's your top three in the MVP race?
Well, to me, it's Josh Allen. By far, none. It's him. So 3 weeks, though. Saquon Barkley, which
could possibly beat Eric Dickerson's rushing record.
Good Lord. Easy there, Stinger. Easy.
Go ahead.
Easy, Stinger. Easy.
Who's number 3? You say it. I know you're going to say his name. Say it.
No, that dude does not belong in that conversation.
Lamar Jackson. A lot of people say it's Lamar Jackson.
But I do think incredible mention should be a shout out to Jared Goff and also to Sam Darnold. They've had a hell of a year. They're going to finish strong too. Then they've had a hell of a season based off of what we thought Sam Darnold was going to do. And Jared Goff has had a hell of a run.
Is it important
back years
for Josh Allen to win an MVP? Is it a must to win an MVP for him?
You got to win something.
I mean, Joe Burrow don't have an MVP.
Okay. Joe Burrow's been to the Super Bowl.
Well, I get.
Joe Burrow's been. No. Joe Burrow's been to the Super Bowl. He's beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
those are bigger accolades than an MVP right now, based off of what Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs are. We're back to back. You want to try to three-peat. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's been to the Mountain Peak and lost to Matthew Stafford. Now, you have Lamar Jackson, who has 2 MVPs. In my opinion, didn't deserve the second one. But whatever. Josh Allen, by far none, has blown everybody away. He's done what nobody thought they would do. They would say they wouldn't win their division.
They're 11-3.
They said they would not win their division. They won their division. They said they would barely make the playoffs. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, I've been on the Buffalo Bills hype train since they got rid of Stephon Diggs. I thought he was a cancer, and I thought they were going to do a lot better without him. And it's been very true.
Yeah.
He's had to put that cape on all year. I don't know how it's going to translate to the postseason.
Josh Allen, he's put up 3,395 yards, so basically 3,400 yards. He's getting 8 yards a pass, 25 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The interceptions, to me, has been the best part.
The turnovers,
they're low.
All the way down was a big part.
But I also think, too, the reason people are like, oh, he stopped turning the ball over. Yeah, because you ain't got the diva you got to throw the ball to, dog. I ain't got to force feed you. Well, he's literally spreading it around. You get a ball.
Shakir has taken a big step into being his main guy. Coleman has looked really good. Kincaid has looked really good. Mark Cooper hasn't necessarily really caught on yet. But the OC, he's gone after this year.
So the reason, again, Lamar Jackson, he's 9-5. That's not the best record. It's not.
Yeah, but if they win the next 3.
But Lamar Jackson, 3,600 yards, 34 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's why people have him over Josh.
But then you have to throw in the rushing yards.
You have to throw in the
He's just so electric. No, he didn't belong there. He's like you just said. He's 9-5. He's not even winning his division.
If this was a Lamar last year, I would agree with the MVP for him last year.
No.
With these stats.
No, I still don't. CMC was so much, as we see now.
I said I would have liked him in the conversation last year better. Not that he would win it, Brandon. Not that he would win it, bro.
I guess better. But no. Last year was no competition. It was CMC. It was CMC than everybody else. This year, Josh Allen has his MVP wrapped up. If he can...
I mean, Saquon Barkley, 285 rushes, 1,688 yards. He's getting 6 yards a carry and 11 TDs.
You know how many more touchdowns they'd have if they didn't do the push?
You know how many more touchdowns he'd have if he didn't get tied on the fucking yard line, Saquon? I got you on my fantasy team. Get in the fucking end zone, please.
Tack out the one. So your 3 MVPs are Saquon, Josh, and Lamar.
Well, I think Lamar is number 3. I'm not no disrespect to Josh. I want to see somebody else other than a motherfucking quarterback win it. Last year should have been CMC, and I'm giving Saquon like Saquon should. He should, dude. We got to give this award to somebody else than a motherfucking quarterback. Otherwise, we just better just name this the MVP quarterback award because I'm sick of it.
If Josh Allen has subpar, because they're playing they go Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
Oh yeah, you already know that. He knows that.
So that's the 3 games they have left, and he should look good.
He should.
If he looks okay in 2 of the 3, and Saquon breaks the record, I think it's Saquon Barkley gets the MVP. I'm right there. I want Saquon, But it's Josh Allen's award to lose with 3 weeks to go.
You're not
Lamar
wrong.
Jackson. If me, no. Can we
I don't
stop?
think Lamar can beat it because of the record.
Like Lamar to me isn't even barely even a top 5 quarterback. Can we stop? He's not an MVP conversation. Not even close. Like, I mean, yes, he is because he has to be 3 because of the record that they have and the stats and shit. And he runs and his pants almost falls down. He feels the wind on his ass. I guess, but to me, it's a two-headed race between Saquon and Josh Allen. Now, if the Eagles get the number 1 seed and Saquon gets the rushing record, even with the extra game, which would, by the way, be against the Giants, so how fucking hilarious would that be?
I hope so, dude. I'm praying for that, honestly.
I want Saquon, but to me, Josh Allen's right now as it stands. Season ends, Josh Allen, and it's well deserved, and it'd be great for Buffalo and great for Josh Allen to get that underneath his belt, and maybe that could help Buffalo get some momentum moving forward in their career. His career.
Moving over to not really back to college football, but I want to talk about Travis Hunter.
The Heisman.
Travis Hunter won the Heisman. And when I say Travis Hunter won the Heisman, I say that with complete shock in my voice because, again, we are Travis Hunter fans. I want that to be we love us some Travis Hunter. We do. But when we came on this podcast the last 2 episodes, we said as great as he's been, it should have been Ashton Jeanty. And
the one thing that swayed us was when I was like, let's swap these players on
swap
teams
them around
and see where they're at.
One's a great story, and Colorado's probably competing for a national championship.
And Colorado has a bye week in the college playoffs.
But
that's how big of an impact these guys have.
The media's Heisman was Travis. The world's Heisman, the fans was Jeanty. And Jeanty should feel slighted. And we talked about this at work and throughout the week. Those 8 quarters that Jeanty did not play, I felt like came back and ultimately bit him in the ass. And that's not his fault.
The thing is, though, is he's still going to get the record.
I just 8 quarters. Mind you, when I say 8 quarters, he didn't play in 8 quarters of the fact that he didn't play in the second half because he dominated. He dominated.
So you said 8 quarters. You know how
8 quarters of fucking football.
How many games is that?
That's 2 games, basically. That's 2 games that he didn't play, if you really think about it.
I mean, in totality. You mad dog. You trash. I'm glad you put it that way. Yeah, that's 2 games. That's 2 games. 4 quarters, that's 2 games. That's 4 games he sat out in the second half. Travis Hunter had to play 1,000-some-odd yard fucking snaps. In totality throughout the season when Jeanty was able to take off the half because his team was so dominant. He was so dominant. It's just really unfortunate. I really thought he was going to win it.
But Travis basically clean sweep the awards outside of best corner.
But yeah, he won best wide receiver.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
He got a lot of hardware. Shout out to Travis.
The most hardware.
Of the 31 teams in the NFL, 13 of them see him as a cornerback, not a wide receiver. So
I don't
know. Again,
his tackling worries me.
Yeah.
His tackling worries.
When you look at him a corner, is he on the level of a Sauce Gardner as a corner? Sauce Gardner has a tackling problem, wrap-up issue. But Sauce Gardner also never gave up a touchdown in college.
I don't.
That's kind of like where I go for Travis Hunter as a comparison to Sauce Gardner.
I don't.
That's kind of like the closest I can get.
I think
he's not Patrick Surtain. He's not a Jalen Ramsey. He's not a Aqib Talib. He's not a Champ Bailey. He's like those were literally locked down, motherfucking you strapped up.
Because he's just too small, really, to be kind of.
But again. I'm very curious to see where Travis Hunter lands.
He's kind of like a ball hawk kind of corner. He's a great zone corner. He can't be a man corner. He's too small. I don't know why the name that keeps coming to mind is maybe kind of like a Ty Law type.
I like that.
Which
I like a Ty Law.
But Ty Law also could strap you down one-on-one. But to me,
I like the Ty Law comparison.
The only thing that comes to mind for me when it comes to the best corners to ever come through the NFL, but. He's gonna be a hell of a zone. Like you put him in zone, let him be in a zone.
Where do you want to see him come in as?
Slot. Well, if he goes corner, he has to be a slot.
Yeah,
because he's fast, and those aren't big boys.
To me, as a slot, I give off like Julian Edelman, Wes Welker vibes for me. as a
Well,
slot.
I meant corner, but as a
wide receiver. As a wide receiver, he gives me Wes Welker.
Corner, he needs to play the slot. He needs to play in the inside, but that puts him too close to the running backs. And the dude tackles with like his head down and he uses his ass and his back. That's why he's going to get hurt. He's going to hurt himself against these bigger guys in the NFL. That's why I see him more on the offense as a wide receiver, and I see him outside.
So you want him to come in as a wide receiver playing defense?
Never.
Like never. You don't want it. You don't want to play in both ways.
It's easy.
Or situational on like a game on the line and need you in there.
It's tough. It's easier to go defense to offense than it is offense to defense because there's a full playbook. If he can do passing downs, if you put him in there second and long, third and longs, absolutely, that's hit that go because I'm gonna put you in. I'm gonna let zone, and honestly, I'm putting him as a fucking free safety.
I like that.
I'm gonna let him roam.
Because you said he's a ball hog. Put him back there. Let him free roam. Kind of like not like Eric Berry, Ed Reed type, but kind of like those. Let him roam. Let him see the field. Let him make the play.
It's kind of hard to kind of think of a really
not comparing him to those guys, but let him like.
Well, I'm trying to think of a safety that would compare him to this like.
Who was the safety we had in the Chiefs before he left? We had
Thornhill.
No, like before him, back there with the Chiefs. He was back there with Eric Berry.
Are you thinking of the white guy?
No.
Thorson?
No.
I can't
think of his name, man. It's slipping me, but I just think I agree with you. Put it back there and let him make the play. I like that.
To me, Travis Hunter, the Heisman winner, he's going to go top 5. He's going to be very crucial where he goes and the coaching he has for him. I think, for me personally, I want to see him electrifying I want to see he's electrifying. He's box office. I wanted to watch him. We both wanted to get there. We messed up. We forgot when the game was. But I think defensively, he's not a corner. He's too small. Unless you play him as the slot corner, but then puts him too close to the ball and he'll get blown up. But if you put him on second and long, third and long, and let him roam as a safety, if he comes into the league and plays primarily defense, moving him to safety, and I'm bringing my strong safety down. I'm gonna let him roam. That's where he's gonna be best at. He's lengthy, he's fast, and he has skills. Obviously, hand skills out the ass. That's to me, my opinion.
But yeah, I'm curious to see where Travis ends up. Listen, next week we're gonna have so much more for you guys because the college football playoffs are heating up. We'll be heating up. We got games, bowl games. We're definitely gonna get into a lot more NBA talk next week. Talk about the new All-Star format. So definitely tune in next week. Hit that subscribe button, and
talk about what's wrong with the NBA.
We'll also be talking about stuff like that. So we'll definitely see you guys next week. Have a great Merry Christmas as well.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next week. Hit that subscribe button.